we got into the University of Michigan, so can we really be complaining we're at one of the best universities in the world?
Yeah, and you just want to have a shot. Yeah, I get that. So yeah,
I think
not much
to say there.
Yeah.
He's right. It should be equal opportunity. If you go to a school as prestigious as the University of Michigan or as prestigious as Carnegie Mellon or Johns Hopkins, that should not disadvantage you. It should be an advantage.
Topic: does DEI provide equal opportunity for all?
I would say no.
I would have to agree with you. I mean, this is like something where it's, as someone who's studying chemical engineering, it's sort of, to me, it's really like, I've looked over the summer for internship opportunities next year, and it's like there's a lot of programs for the military where it's like, hey, we want to have minority and we want to have historically Black university students have this ability to be able to build them up by the bootstraps and just get them into places where they need to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, look at me. I don't think I would fit any of those bills. I go to the University of Michigan, not necessarily an HBCU or a minority involved.
Yeah, but you want to be able to have that shot where it's like.
So this is the debate where left versus right, can they find common ground? So what's happening is that they're getting a conservative student and a liberal student, and they're asking him questions. And the third question that I fast forwarded to was, does DEI provide equal opportunity? And to my surprise, the leftist student said no, and the conservative student said no. So I'm going to give my opinion on this a little later, but let's play this out.
I don't want to be excluded because even if I might be at there are plenty of HBCUs that give a lovely education. Mm-hmm. But you're saying I go to the University of Michigan, I don't want people to look at the fact that I go to the University of Michigan and it end up being a toll against me because I'm given access to such a good education.
No, there were numerous. I mean, I think I was looking at the number. There were probably like 50 different things inside the armed forces area, mm-hmm. where it's like, hey, I could work in chemical engineering in any of these areas, but I have to go to one of these HBCUs or minority colleges.
Well, they just like give you preference. If you had gone to one of those universities,
they would have given me preference, but I think what they're looking for is just like, hey, we're doing this program, and that just, I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Like I can't control what they're looking for, mm-hmm. but just looking at it, I'm like, man, I wish there were more opportunities, because no matter where we are, I mean, we're going to the University of Michigan. There's like 38,000 students here, and all of them
there's more than that. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And they're all.
So just to touch on his point, he said he was looking for internships over the summer, but a lot of the opportunities he was finding as a chemical engineering student were specifically for, he said, military, and he even brought up minority communities. Maybe that was referring to HBCUs, or maybe that was referring to women or whatever. And let me touch on this. And I actually went to an HBCU, which means historically Black college and university. What he's saying is actually pretty accurate. There are, and I've said this in videos, I have no reason to lie. This is just the truth. This is just accurate. There are scholarships that are specifically for HBCU students, and there are specifically for Black students, and there are internships in the same way. And I understand, because on one end you want to give, impoverished communities an opportunity at these positions, but let's not forget, there are a lot of impoverished and first-generation students at state schools. And when you have scholarships, and I always had a problem with this, when you have scholarships or internships that are specifically for Black colleges, it's unfair. Because if you were just to remove the word Black and put white in it, it would be unfair. And he's right. And I touched on this years ago, because it's not right. There should be scholarships that anyone can apply to, especially for economically disadvantaged students. Like, he just seems like a normal middle-class student. He's at the University of Michigan. It's a great school, but it's not like known for being an Ivy League or something crazy like that. So there should be opportunities for him the same way there are opportunities for people at other schools. And that's just the truth. That's just the reality of the situation. But let me know what you guys think.
Super competitive, super looking for the same thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks, but we got in the University of Michigan, so can we really be complaining we're at one of the best universities in the world?
Yeah, and you just want to have a shot. Yeah, I get that. So yeah,
I think
not much
to say there. Yeah. I think we can agree that.
And I was not trying to crap on the University of Michigan. It is a great university. It's a great university. I meant that it wasn't a university that's like, oh, only rich people can go there. But he's right. It should be equal opportunity. If you go to a school as prestigious as the University of Michigan, or as prestigious as Carnegie Mellon or Johns Hopkins, That should not disadvantage you. It should be an advantage. You should be able to find internships easier than other students. I'm going to just say it. You should. That's just the reality. Those schools have higher academic standards. You should have an easier time finding internships because you had a harder time getting into that school. And he's not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. You should. You should not have to, how do I say this, struggle to find internships when you're at one of the best schools in the nation. That should not be your reality. You should have different struggles, like the work and all that stuff, the grades, but that shouldn't be one of your struggles.
You guys started up with covered up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
For our fourth topic, should illegal immigrants be deported?
Yes.
Depends.
Okay.
So I do agree there's a border crisis. I do agree there has to be a better way of doing things. I think one of the first things that I saw that kind of made it like more like out of picture than anything else was a Vivek Ramaswamy Instagram reel, where it was he himself at the northern border, like between the U.S. and Canada, saying, "Hey, we have this huge border problem. This northern border isn't secure. Just like a line of trees." And
but we don't necessarily have the same problem with Canada.
No,
with
but
the
that's
sheer
the thing.
amount of people
That's
coming
the thing
across.
that I found really funny. It's like, hey, look at Canada, look at us. He's advocating for something which probably doesn't exist, and that really was like, hey, maybe they're blowing this out of proportion. But I do believe there is a serious problem with the immigration system we have right now.
Yeah. Well, so okay. Yeah, and I mean we do kind of agree on some of that.
What are your thoughts on H-1B visas, the work visas?
I think if someone's coming to the U.S. and it's going to end up assuming people are staying in the U.S. for work for like their entire career, and it's their massive benefit to our society. When I mean, think about all the engineers or physicists or things like these are amazing people that we bring into the U.S. who can really start to shape our industry. I think that is really useful.
I think we're going a little off topic here because this topic was about illegal
it needs to legal immigration.
They contribute a lot to taxes.
I
think that's something that needs to be brought up as well.
But I don't think.
Here's the reality, bro. Here's the reality. When we talk about illegal immigration and you say it depends because they contribute a lot to taxes, it kind of sounds like we're using illegal immigrants. And that's the tone I'm getting from this. It's like, well, since you're useful to our country, you get to stay. What if they aren't useful to the country? Do they have to leave? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we're trying to frame this as you're useful now, you get to stay. But the reality is illegal immigration is just illegal. That's just the reality. Our citizenship is not a meritocracy, meaning if you are a U.S. citizen, it doesn't matter if you're useful or not useful. You're just a U.S. citizen. It's not about, oh, you're a useful citizen, so you have a higher tier of citizenship. That's not how America as a nation works. We work on the law. That's why the law is there. That's the only reason, because we trust that we'll do what the law states. So when you say, oh, because they pay taxes and they're engineers, first of all, there are no illegal immigrant researchers, but let's change the subject. Just because they pay taxes doesn't mean that what they're doing is not illegal. That has nothing to do with the legality of if they should stay or leave America.
I think it's really all of the people who are here, because if you're here illegally, you're probably doing your most to have not a direct interaction.
Are we
with
talking
the
about like visa violations, or are we talking about like straight up just across the border?
Straight up crossing the border, where it's like we don't know who these people are. We don't know where they're from, because we have no idea where they are in this country, because they came across and like they never interacted with our government, never did anything. So I think that that's a vast majority of the illegal immigration that I would talk about. And
do you think we should deport them back to their home country, or like another?
I would think, back to a lot of people's home country. I mean, we have an asylum process, and of course, we can help to change our immigration process if we do think it is, corrupt and, somewhat inhumane. But that's part of our government.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't, then maybe change up our laws now just because, of course, we feel like it in the moment. There should be, we have a government set up.
There's a huge problem with
process
immigration right now. I mean, have you seen the news lately? There's been protests outside ICE facilities. There's been protests about all these times.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we have a problem. The system is flawed. We need to fix the system. But addressing the problem right now
we can't impede our own set of laws that we established because of a momentary feeling. You should be, if you want to change the laws, you should do it through the government. Of course, I'm probably going to have a different view on how the laws should be changed than you do. I mean, I think anyone who's in the country illegally should not be in the country because they're basically, I mean, people have heard it a million times on the internet. It's like cutting the line. There are people, especially, I mean, I know plenty of people. I'm from Dearborn. Half the people in Dearborn are not from the U.S. They're from the Middle East.
But they've gone through that immigration process.
Legally immigrated to the U.S. I've lived around immigrants my entire childhood, and so when I hear about people illegally coming into the U.S., and there's also plenty of reason to leave the Middle East, given certain groups
conflict
over there. And I'm like, you shouldn't therefore cut the line in front of everyone else's immigration for your own sake.
I think that's fair. Can we both agree that the system needs to change?
Yeah. There should be some changes.
So we both agree that the system is flawed and there needs to be some changes. We both disagree about how they should change it, but we both agree that they need to change the system.
Back on the ground?
Yeah.
What is he?
System needs to be changed.
Yeah, illegal immigration is a problem in the U.S. People who are here illegally most likely shouldn't, but if you want to change the system, it should be done through like the legal process that we already have established, and not momentary
lapses,
flares of however you feel.
We just believe that there needs to be change, but the change between us is just different. We don't know. We both have different views on what needs to be changed and how it needs to be changed, but we both agree there needs to be change.
Yeah, if there's change done, it needs to be done through the government, not just massive riots or whatever it is. Yeah.
All right, for our fifth topic, is Israel committing a genocide?
No.
Really?
I mean, you know who I live with. I don't think Israel is committing a genocide. I mean, I think I look back to especially what the U.S. has done in the past in wars that we were actually proud to be involved in. I mean, you can think about there was plenty of terrible things when we were talking about how we were in Vietnam or when we were in the Middle East and stuff like that, where it's a little like,
it's a little dicey.
Yeah, it's a little
Agent
dicey
Orange and all that stuff.
Should we have been doing some of that stuff? But I look at what we were doing with like even Nazi Germany during World War II, or Japan.
Japan was crazy with that stuff.
We completely obliterated two populations, and at the end of the conflict, we were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." And I'm pretty sure the ratio of even civilian deaths to like combatant deaths is far like. We killed way more people that were non-combatants to combatants in World War II than Israel ever did in Gaza.
So what he's saying is that the quantity of persons that are being murdered is not equivalent to a genocide. I'm not going to speak on this because I have not looked into this at all. I try to be more, I guess, American-centric on this channel, so I tend to not go down these type of rabbit holes intentionally. But let me know what you guys think about this topic. Let me know who you guys think, I guess, won the debate, even though it wasn't really a debate. It was just two students having a conversation. But my name is Jojo, and I'll see you next time.